My name is Henry Pace. I am the mayor of Henderson, Texas. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome each of you to Christmas in Henderson.
Texas is full of lost history, from lost cemeteries to abandoned buildings, from the infamous to the obscure. Hitch a ride and travel across the Lone Star State, looking for hints of Texas' colorful past, our lost history. This is Expedition Texas, and we're gonna find it.
Henderson, Texas is a city filled with a variety of Texas history. We've been to Henderson before and learned a little about the history of that area.
It is just a hotbed of historical activity. Even in the house we're in now, the Howard Dickinson house, it's a frequent stomping ground of people like Sam Houston. You have James Pinckney Henderson, who was the first governor of the state of Texas. In fact, Henderson is a city that's older than the state of Texas and one of the oldest cities in Texas, just point blank period. There's just so much that came on here, especially when you get into the 20s and the 30s, when the oil discovery, the huge underground reserve of oil in this area just absolutely just was a boom. I believe it was said that it went from 3,000 to over 10,000 people in an incredibly short period. You had the Daisy Bradford Discovery Oil Well, which is the very first oil well of the East Texas oil field, just on the outskirts of Henderson. And just the commerce, and it's like the Great Depression didn't touch this area. It was just so wealthy.
While Henderson has museums that tell the story, their Heritage Park has displays in surprisingly realistic settings. The old depot, an old cabin, and even an outhouse for three. Every year in November, the city fills with people to celebrate the annual Syrup Festival. The Syrup Festival celebrates the once dominant crop of sugarcane, and visitors can visit vendors, downtown merchants, and even Heritage Park to see old-fashioned syrup making in action.
I'm running down the road trying to loosen my load. I got 7 women on my mind. Boy, they wanna own me too. They wanna stone me once. She's a friend of mine. Take it easy.
Oh, this is a great place to come. As far, of course, you know, like you say, we got cornmeal here. We do. We've been doing this now for 20 years.
We sell honey, and then we have some beeswax products over there. We got our different sizes up to gallons. We have some beautiful muth jars right here. So our beeswax products over there consist of a salve, a lotion bar, some soaps with our honey in it, and a lip balm.
It's a girl, my lord, in a flatbed Ford, slowing down to take a look at me.
Our syrup business is amazing. It is made from ribbon cane syrup, and it's over 100-year-old recipe. And it's steam cooked so that they can get a precise temperature so that it's consistent every batch.
Boy, they wanna own me too. They wanna stone me once. She's a friend of mine. Take it easy.
Okay, tell me your first and last name.
Wolf Man, howling mad and twice as crazy.
What are you doing downtown Henderson?
Wandering around aimlessly.
And tell me what you see.
I see some wonderful craft objects, some great people, and a fantastic day.
Isn't this a great day? Yeah, it is.
The weather's right, not too hot, not too cold. The kids are cooperative. That's a wonderful thing.
Well, it gives them something good to do. So, how long have you been coming to the syrup business?
Since it opened, since the first one.
How long ago was that?
I can't count that high. I have to take my shoes off.
And we've traveled back to Henderson to celebrate Christmas with the folks there. We've traveled to Henderson, Texas to take part in their annual Christmas festivities. But we arrived early, and coming into town on Highway 64, we spotted the amazing Henderson Civic Center and the beautiful sprawling lakeside park there. We met up with John Cloutier to talk about the disc golf course that he designed for the city.
I developed a disc golf habit in 2011 when my kids took off for college, looking for something a little more sustainable for an aging gentleman who just really wanted to be outside a lot and had a competitive streak. So started playing some tournaments, had a modicum of success at that, met some great people, got on a great team, and became an ambassador for the sport. I wanted to share it with my community. It's a great sport, keep people healthy at all ages, little kids, grown-ups, even very grown-up like people like me. So we went to the city council and said, hey, let us build you a 9-hole course and put it in the park and see what happens. And so we did the design and we put in the targets, and we bring the tournaments and the people of the town as much as possible. And the nice thing is, and the biggest difference is, you don't have to come pay a greens fee. You can grab the grandkids, you can come up here, play a round of no pressure golf. Doesn't matter what the numbers is, it's the time together. But for us, as an economic development generator, getting heads in beds in the hotels, getting people in the restaurants, it's what it's about with economic development.
Hey, John, how's it going, man?
I'm good. How are you today?
Doing all right, man. Okay, so I would call this a Frisbee, but this is not what these are, right?
No, we call them discs.
Discs, okay.
I mean, I guess it's kind of both. And these are slow discs, but for now, we're just going to show you the basics.
Okay, right. And what kind of disc am I holding here?
Well, this is a putter. It's an Omega 4 made by Millennium, stamped by Innova Champion Discs. And these are what I use to putt with. So typically, if I get within a couple 100 feet of the target, I'm going to throw this because it's slow and it controls the speed going towards the target, see?
Okay.
And this is a short hole, but we're at T-pad for hole number 5 here. It's 180 feet. The big object is to get it in the basket and don't put it in the road.
Okay, the road, the basket, it's back there somewhere.
It's behind that tree, see? So if you, that's right. So we gotta have some objects in the way.
Okay, yeah.
And nobody wants to stand in a parking lot and just throw it, right?
Yeah,
so
right.
The challenge is to get it to that in as few throws as possible.
Okay, I'm gonna watch you.
Okay.
Then I'll try.
Okay. There you go. All right.
Okay.
You wanna try it once?
Yeah, I'm right-handed.
That's it. So you probably want to go that way.
This way.
That's right.
All right. So it's gonna be really, really bad.
Okay. There you go. Well, you notice how much farther it was this time.
All right, so this is one of yours.
Right.
Mine's way back over there somewhere. But you got this one like this is right by.
Well, these are the ones you want because this one you can almost reach it, so it's almost unmissable.
You can almost just reach out.
Right, and that's what we call a birdie, right? So we like birdies.
All right. But what do you do with something like this? I mean, obviously there's going to be wind, there's going to be a lot of other factors.
Well, and there's people watching you, and your mom is rooting for you, and so you just have to, you just got to practice.
Yeah.
And then you got to let go and be a kid again and just play the game.
There you go.
You just do that. See? So that's all you do is you just got to get it in this target.
Very cool. So how long could you spend out here in a day playing Frisbee golf in this course?
Just depends on how much energy you have. I think the park's open all day long.
Oh, okay. Good deal.
So,
well, thanks for showing us around, John.
Thanks. Have a great day.
Appreciate it,
Enjoy
man.
it. Look forward to seeing you out on the course.
I'm Michael Searcy, City Council member for the City of Henderson, my wife Victoria and my son Xander, and welcome to Christmas in Henderson. Well, we've got the Christmas Parade in Henderson, which is a big hit every year. The downtown shopping is always great. There's a lot of local small businesses, and myself and Victoria are both small business owners in Henderson, so that's a really big deal for us, for everybody to shop local. And we make a big effort every year to make downtown really festive and really family oriented, which makes it fun for him. So it's a good time for everybody.
So you can see that the house really was just a shell when it was abandoned back in the 1950s. This is the room that we are standing in right now.
Oh, wow.
For me, Henderson, of course, brings back a lot of memories. I remember riding in the parade as a kid in a golf cart with my granddad's mounted deer head on the mounting of the golf cart, dressed up as Raggedy Ann, or Andy. And so from there, I've lived in Austin for the past 25 years, and then moving back, some things have changed, some things haven't changed. And so it's really beautiful to see the town decked out and all the Christmas lights and the Christmas trees and the magic, that rests here in what I call the heart of the city, downtown Henderson.
We're in Henderson, Texas, getting ready for the Christmas parade and downtown tree lighting. As always, our interest in local history takes over, and we end up taking a few tours. One such tour was the Howard Dickinson house, which came back from the brink of ruin in the 1960s and is now a great place that preserves Henderson's lost history. Hi, Cindy. How's it going?
Hi, it's going good.
So, tell me about this extremely cool old house that we're in.
All right, this is the Howard Dickinson house, and it was built around 1855.
Now, I understand this house has a whole lot to do with broader history here in Henderson, Texas.
Well, yes, it certainly does. It's one of our oldest, of course, dwellings here in Henderson, and one of the most important. Sam Houston was a cousin of Martha Howard. Dave and Martha and brother Logan Howard came from Virginia around 1855. They manufactured brick, so the brick was made here on the premises. And only 2 families ever lived here, which is why it's called Howard Dickinson.
Well, we're here to celebrate Christmas with the folks in Henderson. We're going to be heading downtown here in just a little bit. But in the meantime, can you show us around a little bit?
I'd love to.
All right. Which way?
This way. This is the formal dining room of the house, and the Howards would have entertained here. And our ceiling is painted blue because back in the day when the windows were open, we had flies and wasps, and we thought that would help.
Oh, okay.
That's what people
Well, it
thought.
looks like this is all set up
We
for
are
something.
all
Y'all are ready
set
for the
up
tour.
for a winter event. We don't have to worry about flies and wasps. We're going to have our holiday home tour this weekend with refreshment. You can imagine back in the day with no electricity, it was very important to learn to play a musical instrument. So one of the few things we have that's original to the house is this old pump organ.
Really?
Yes, and the Howards bought it for their daughter Julia, and that's her picture right there.
So this is
we're
original
proud
to
of
the
that.
house?
It was. That's where it sat back in the 1850s. Yes.
Wow, that is very cool.
Yes. And the rest of the furniture is all Victorian in style. And this is a very old secretary desk. It's over 200 years old. So we're proud of that. We just have a lot of artifacts in here. Again, we're set up for our Christmas tour, so we've got fresh greens that we're decorating with. And we're just very proud of this house.
Absolutely, I can see why. It is a treasure that it was able to be saved, and I've seen some photos from kind of before, and it had to come a long ways.
Absolutely, it did. I can show you those photos next if you'd like to see.
Okay, let's check it out.
So you can see that the house really was just a shell when it was abandoned back in the 1950s. And of course, people that lived around here called it the haunted house. And
was this inside here?
This is the room that we are standing in right now.
Oh, wow.
So the wall was gone. We have a 300-year-old grandfather clock there.
Wow.
So yeah, that one's been around a while.
A little bit. So you mentioned though earlier Sam Houston's trunk.
Yes.
And that's in this house somewhere.
Yes, it is, and I'll tell you the story about that too. You want to go across?
Yeah, there's only one other room.
Okay. Okay, so this is Uncle Logan's room, and here is Sam Houston's trunk. The story here is Sam Houston was injured in the Battle of San Jacinto. He was shot in the leg, and they took him to New Orleans. And his campaign trunk got left at San Jacinto, and a nearby plantation was called the Vence Plantation, and the trunk ended up at the Vence Plantation. Mrs. Vence later became a widow, and later she married a man from Rusk County and moved up here. So we ended up with Sam Houston's trunk.
Wow. The stories this thing can tell.
No kidding. If it was actually at the Battle of San Jacinto. That's what we're told.
Wow. How cool. What a neat house. Thanks for showing us around.
Thank you. I enjoyed it. Thanks for coming.
Christmas means everything to us. We all look forward to the beautiful ambiance of the downtown and getting to come and shop and walk around and just feel the festive, cozy feelings that the Christmas season gives you.
One thing that's real special to us is lighting of the Christmas tree. Each year we have someone special from our community that pulls a switch and lights the Christmas tree just before our Christmas parade. And we have a big crowd to come out and witness that also.
I moved away for a few years. I lived in a big city and it just is not the same. This is hometown holidays. This is truly the spirit of Christmas shared by all the residents here. It's just heartwarming. There's just not a better word for it.
Christmas in Henderson's great as far as the experience here. It's just something that since I moved to Henderson in 2010, it's one of the things that really attracted me to the community was how we celebrate Christmas, especially downtown.
Christmas in Henderson means community and tradition. One of our local shop owners takes his own time to decorate the streets, all the trees with the ribbons, if you could see. We have a very traditional square decorations. It's an old sleigh and Santa's house, and everybody just comes together to support everybody and celebrate.
Christmas in Henderson is hometown, small town, tradition, and beauty. And I think that our downtown, and if you could see it at night all lit up, especially with the colored trees, this is one of the most beautiful spots in Christmas. And it is colored lights also, which are much better than just plain old white. But so I love Christmas, but the people are great. We just, you know, it's good. Everybody's gathering toys for angel trees. There's lots of angel trees and lots of people, and the civic clubs are all, you know, raising money and giving gifts. So it's a very giving time and a very giving place.
We're in Henderson, Texas, where crowds are gathering downtown for the Christmas parade, which is kicked off each year by the lighting of the Christmas tree. Each year, citizens nominate someone special to light the tree, and City of Henderson's Alexa Duke explains this year's choice.
We have a family this year who unfortunately lost a child this year, and it was a tragedy shared by almost everyone in town. Everyone knew little Stevie. And so her family's going to come light the tree for us, and then we'll get started with all of the sirens and the Shriner cars and the noise and the horses and the kids and the cheerleaders and all that fun stuff.
For someone to get picked to light the tree, the town kind of nominates or something, a family. And this summer we actually lost our 6-year-old little girl, just very unexpectedly. So people mentioned us to the city. And of course we're still so heartbroken, but just that this community has just how they wrapped us up in their arms, and just to kind of bring some spirit to us. So we're very, I want to say excited, but it's hard. Holidays are hard.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
is loaded up. It is Santa Claus himself.
Henderson, Texas became a hub of East Texas in its early days, and while they've settled into a role as hometown East Texas, they're still a bustling town. However, the shared love between friends and neighbors downtown rivals that of cities half their size. Yes, Henderson still may be a hub of East Texas activity, but they have the heart of a much smaller town, a city where the mayor is always open to visitors and actively works every day to see that the city is on the cusp of public service. Henderson Civic Theater readies their production of A Christmas Carol for opening night, and the people of Henderson, Texas come together once again for another big celebration for Christmas with Expedition Texas. Merry Christmas from the folks in Henderson, Texas.